I'll just let you know right now, there's something about the flavors of strawberry and lemon together that just do something for me, especially when it's spring, summertime, coming into Memorial Day. Everything you could ask for in a strawberry shortcake, and so simple you can make it from a box mix. So I love an easy dessert, and I do love my strawberry shortcake. It's one of my favorite desserts. Spring, summer, even on into fall, you just can't go wrong with a good strawberry shortcake. Now, I love my cousins make a pound cake at my grandma's house every year. And that to me is one of the best. You get that super heavy lemon pound cake and turn it into a strawberry shortcake. But I don't always have 2 hours to make a cake. So that's where this comes in really clutch, because I just take and elevate just a simple box cake mix. And we can do this so much faster, so much less room for error. And it's actually a little bit lighter of crumb than a pound cake would be. A little bit, and it just feels so springy. I like adding the lemon jello mix. This is going to really add, if you want a moist cake, this is the secret that you're a lot of times tasting. This cake to me is so much better than your average box cake, and it's only a couple little things to elevate it. The jello, add a little bit of flour, and all this is down in the description. Everything I make, every time I do it, if it's my recipe, I put it down in the description so that you can follow along or just screenshot that recipe and make it at home. But this is your dry mix. It's as simple as it gets. Let's whisk this together. We just want everything combined real well. And now we're going to go changing up the other things. Forget the back of the box. This is better. A lot of you guys have seen this knife on a lot of my episodes. I'm not retiring it, but I have got a new version of it. So you're going to start seeing this one a lot more. Same custom station knife from Benchmade, but with a carbon fiber handle and a polished blade, kind of like that shine. I don't know, it spoke out to me, and it's a new year. I need a new knife, right? Anyways, so we're going to juice this lemon up real good. I'm going to use the lemon zest, but before I zest it, I'm going to roll it around because we're going to use the juice and the wet ingredients. And anytime you're using or juicing one of these, you want to soften it beforehand, because trying to squeeze this afterwards is impossible. So that's good and juicy. We don't want to juice it yet. And we're just going to put the whole zest of the lemon down in this, and that's going to add just a little bit of that bright lemon punch. I do love lemon zest with a strawberry shortcake. It takes it, in my opinion, to the next level. Adds a little bit of acid to that sweetness and adds just so much springy, early summer flavor. This is perfect. Memorial Day picnics, Mother's Day, whatever you're planning for. And it's so easy. Let's get that down in there. And this is not a must-do part. You don't have to have this lemon zest in there, but it is going to add. I promise you, try it once with it before you say me no. That's the last little bit. We'll whisk that in there. Now this is where things start to look really, really different, because instead of the typical wet ingredients that we would normally use, we're going to add a little bit of sour cream. And you might look at me, if you have never tasted a cake like this, you're going to look at me and think I'm crazy. But I promise you, if you try this, you'll never eat another cake like this, ever. This is the best way. You'll never make another box make. You'll never make another box mix cake You'll never make another box mix cake the same again. And I could mix all these wet ingredients separately, and probably should, but this is a quick and easy recipe, right? So about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So basically just lemon. Whoa, that was a juicy lemon. That one made me happy right there. Probably should have done that through something to get the seeds from going in, but I didn't see a lot of seeds go in, so we'll count that. And now we add an extra egg, or at least an extra egg yolk. Sometimes I don't add the white, sometimes I do. Now pop those egg yolks first before you go to whisking, and then I'm going to use just a spoon to combine. It's a little bit easier than a whisk, because this is a heavy batter. If you have a heavier batter or one that you're trying not to overmix, ditch that whisk, go for a spoon, or use a more kind of a beater that's got wider tongs, or whatever those wires are. I found that with heavy batters, a lot of times my batter all gets caught up inside, and then I'm beating it out and destroying all the little air bubbles. So I'm just going to stir this to combine. I'm not really trying to beat this and fluff a bunch of air into it. Such a good cake batter. And you can see this looks very different from your typical cake batter. Got our batter all mixed up here, looking good. Let's get our cake pan. I like to use butter to do my cake pans, to grease my cake pans. So I will just rub that around in there, and if you get little bits extra in there, I just think that adds more flavor. That's just me, but I prefer it over spray oils. You can do whatever you want. If you just want to grab a spray and spray this down real good, there you go. We do want this well wheeled or buttered, however you do it, because we don't want our cake sticking in here. If our cake sticks, it's not going to come out in those pretty little squares that we want for our plates. Now, we are going to just scoop this into here, and this is a lot less runny than your average cake batter, but that is okay. It's supposed to be. While I'm sitting here thinking, another zest that would work really good with this, it's another acid as well, but it's a little bit sweeter and milder than lemon, and it has kind of been something that's been growing on me this year, is blood orange zest. And I just think blood orange and strawberry is a great combination as well. So keep that one in mind if you're looking for ways to spice this up. Try to make a note about that down in the comments. So our batter is done. It's in our cake pan. I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to start on our strawberries. So now, while that's baking and while it's cooling, our strawberries are going to be getting ready here. Let's get these strawberries done. It's a lemon strawberry shortcake, so we're going to zest another lemon. Because this lemon zest, you never want to waste zest of a fruit like this. Even if I wasn't using it, I still hate to throw away all that good zest off the skin. I'm not saying I don't do that plenty of times, but we'll use this to dress up stuff afterwards, and we'll use the juice in these strawberries to kind of bring out some of that flavor. Set that zest aside, we'll use that later. Oh yeah, good and juicy. And we'll just go ahead and squeeze some of that juice in there. So this is real simple. We're just gonna slice up some strawberries, and I'll take the top off, and then a lot of times I'll just cut them right down the middle so they lay flat. Cut them again for these. These are big strawberries and little pieces of strawberry. That's all we need. Whatever size you like. If you like some longer, more decorative pieces. I do think that thinner slices tend to soak up flavor better. So we're going to add a little powdered sugar to these and a little bit of lemon juice here. Stir this up real good. You can already just see how glossy these are getting. That water's coming out. That's what we want, is really glossy, wet strawberries. For one, because they look beautiful. And for two, because the juicier they get, the more that juice is going to soak down in our cake and make that classic strawberry shortcake texture and flavor. Oh yes, this is beautiful. Didn't mean to spill so many strawberries. Oh well, those are mine. Truly perfection. Not too sweet, not too tart. Let's get those in the refrigerator. So I love a classic whipped cream on my strawberry shortcake, but let's be real honest, that stuff isn't always super stable. So I kind of take this and I add a little bit of tang with some cream cheese. Sometimes I add some yogurt to this, and it makes what I feel is a much better whipped topping. Let me show you this. I should probably do this by hand, but we're just gonna make it quick. Go where the soft peaks pretty much. Where is my? Not yet. The cake says it's done. We'll stick a fork in that and check it here in a second. One of the first things I set out was this cream cheese so it would soften, so it's a lot softer. Be sure you want to do that. It's good and smooth. Let's add a little yogurt. Now let's shoot a little shot of vanilla bean in there. Some powdered sugar, a little salt, and then I'll just squeeze a little of this lemon juice. We've already got some tart in there. Now let's just fold these together here. Our whipped cream gives us the fluff, and this kind of gives us the flavor here. It's not too sweet, and we just really don't want to overwork this in that whipped cream. Just kind of use it to stabilize. We'll fold that in there, and that's just a beautiful whipped topping. Oh yes, and it tastes amazing. So let's put together a strawberry shortcake. Well, just in time, our cake is ready, so let's pull that out. Oh wow, this is gonna be beautiful. So we don't want a hot cake. I love the taste of hot cake, I know, but it will have a little better structure if it at least cools past this part. So we're gonna let this sit for about 20 to 30 minutes and cool off. Okay, our cake is cooled. We wanna get it out of here. We buttered this pan really good. So we're just gonna flip this thing up, and I like to support it. I just don't like dumping it over without supporting. And it just falls out. I mean, look at that, that is beautiful. I do think that the cake looks better upside down. It's more square. And I'll show you why. Another reason is because you do not have to do this, but I am gonna show you two different ways to make this. We'll go ahead and cut our squares. Now I like to cut big squares. We'll just cut them right there. That's a good big square. Probably should have measured these before and kind of got even with it, but oh well. Actually, that's pretty good. I have to say I'm amazed with myself at how good I am sometimes. And that's just me and my humility speaking. I could be in one of them cut this thing in half competitions. But one little thing that I think if you'll take like a thin layer of this, let's just trim that top off there. Let me flip this, because this is not perfectly level here. Let's level this up a little bit for regions. Now, if you just take and cut like in thirds, let me move this out of the way so you can see. I think it makes a prettier little top to this. So, I'll take this, take my big spoon of strawberries, and we spoon this over it. And opened up, this is very porous, so if you'll just look, when I pour this on here, that juice just drowns inside of that cake, which is absorbing all that strawberry flavor. That's the best part of strawberry shortcake. Then we put our little top back on, and we pile just a few more little strawberries if we want them, or a little bit more of that juice, either one if we want it. And then our whipped cream goes on top. A piping bag would probably look better, but most of the time we're just doing it in a dollop because we're just here in a hurry. And that makes one of my favorites. You know what? This is a little dusting of, where is my sugar, powdered sugar. And there is just a beautiful strawberry shortcake. So easy and perfect to take to anything. As promised, we have strawberry shortcake. Now, I didn't show you how to do this one because I did it on a whim while he was shooting the photos of this that were going to be on the thumbnail. All I did was I took the ends, I trim my cake up. As you can see, these pieces that are trimmed, the bottom piece just flips over. The top, I'll trim it off if it's uneven, and I'll trim the sides off so that there's no brown on any of the sides. It makes them look better. Here's one that's had the top and all the sides trimmed off. So I just trim off anything that I don't like on the cake, and I use those trimmings to crumble up and put in the bottom. Then I layer the whipped cream to kind of protect it and insulate it, because if not, these will get really soggy with the strawberry if they're in direct contact. Then another layer of whipped cream, another layer of cake crumbles, and I just layered it all the way up. It made a beautiful mason jar, and I thought, I have to show that to people because that was literally so easy. You could take this whole cake and just crumble it and make a million of these little mason jars for the perfect summer treat. If you used ice cream, you could literally just stick it in the freezer and pop it back out and let it start to thaw, and you'd have little frozen strawberry shortcakes. I love this, and I have to try it because it was the first, it was not even supposed to be here. This was an accident. Oh, but what a delicious accident. Wow, this might be better than my shortcake. 10 of 10, remember that. I didn't even mean to do that. That's what I love about cooking. Stuff just happens in here. I don't know. Now, let's dig into this. This is the main dish. This is exactly what I love about strawberry shortcake. Gotta get this down here working. Work on it. Gotta do some magic. A little bit of that creamy topping. A little bit of those strawberries in that yellow cake. And that cake just pulls all that strawberry, those juices out of that strawberry. If you look down through here, let me cut this thing open. Look at this. I'm going to cut this open and show y'all. But all those strawberry juices have soaked into that cake. And you have just this beautiful, that's the whole point. And if this was a super light yellow cake, like your typical box mix, it would have just disintegrated. But it's just heavy enough to hold it together and absorb all that juice. Oh, I could eat my body weight in this cake. Anyways, one bite of this strawberry shortcake this summer, and I can promise you're going to thank me all summer long.